Hello, everyone. My name is Steve Roman, and I am the teen librarian over at DeKalb Public Library. We are, as you probably know, cooperating with STEM Outreach, and one of our books we're going to be reading this summer, and hopefully you've already read it by the time you're seeing this, is Peeps. If you like Peeps, here's some other items you might enjoy. The first is I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. If you like your science blended with your supernatural, if you like the concept of things being not due to some curse or magic, but due to some kind of scientific virus or bacteria or plague, he was the first one who really did that. And in I Am Legend, the main character, Robert Neville, is literally the last man on Earth. Civilization has been completely overwhelmed by vampires, and he is trying to find a cure. In Rotten Ruin, once again, this is for, if you like the monster hunting aspects of Peeps, then this book is for you. Because in Rotten Ruin, the world has already been overrun, in this case, not by vampires, but by zombies. Close enough. You know, they walk around, they eat people, whatever. And young Benny, he's just reached 15 years old. And in this world, of course, with the world overrun by zombies, resources are tight. So when you're 15, you're expected to be a useful member of society. You got to contribute, you got to have a profession. And Benny is going into the family business, which is zombie hunting. Of course, he soon learns that in a world where resources are tight, where communities are barely struggling to survive, the real monsters may not be the zombies, but other people. Third book we have for you, again, going in the same vein as, again, monster hunting and people who are being apprenticed to that profession, is The Monstrumologist by Richard Yancey. Now, this takes place in the late 19th century, 1888, in which a young orphan named Will is apprenticed to a doctor who has a very interesting sideline profession of monster hunter. Young Will is introduced to this profession when the doctor wheels in a specimen of a headless corpse with a giant mouth in the chest filled with shark-like teeth. Moving away from fiction now, we have this book by Robert Sullivan, and this is Rats. Now, obviously, if you've read Peeps, you know what connection rats have. Peeps takes place in New York City, and it talks about the entire ecosystem under the city streets that are ruled by things like rats and cockroaches and what have you. It merely started in New York City, but he also went to other large cities like Chicago, Milwaukee, and he did research the rat population, the differences, how numerous they are. I guess in New York City, you're never more than 5 feet from a rat at any given time. It's kind of scary, actually. As well as he interviewed the people in the professions like sanitation, pest control. They don't call themselves exterminators, by the way, because you can never exterminate the rat problem. Just hopefully keep it under some moderate control. And he talks to them about their jobs. He also talks about the history of the city and how at one time, for example, say in the late 19th century, the late 1800s, most all of New York City's docks, for example, completely overrun by rats. Their warehouses or docks. So if you're thinking Gangs of New York, you know, if you've ever seen that film, these are the real Gangs of New York right here. And the last item that we're going to talk about isn't a book, it's a video. This is a series, and it ran for 3 seasons, that the History Channel did, called Cities of the Underworld. Now, Cities of the Underworld, they basically go into all this. As you probably know, cities are built on other cities or other ruins, and they go into the deep, dark places of other cities, places that are deep underground where new buildings have been erected on the old sites. And in this one, they actually tackle New York. So you get to see some of the old abandoned subway tunnels, the fallout shelters, these secret tunnels that connect basements all over New York City that nobody knows about, because they're so deep underground. These guys go and investigate them. And they run into things like rats and other awfulness down there. And that will be it for today's read-alike session. I hope you enjoyed Peeps. I hope you're enjoying all the programming around it. And I hope you enjoy some of these other works. I'm signing out.